Right now, at this very second, as you read these words, somewhere there is a person thinking of you, not just remembering you by chance, not just a passing thought, but thinking deeply, constantly, with an intensity that gives them no peace, with a feeling inside that cannot be silenced by work, noise, or time. This person wants to tell you something, something important, something they have kept inside for far too long, something that has been ripening in the silence while there was distance between you, silence, uncertainty, or whatever else stood between you and this conversation. And today, this message has reached you, not by chance, never by chance. You think this is just a video, just words, just something that appeared in your feed. But wait 1 second, because something inside you already knows. Something has stopped. Something in you has slowed down at this very second, right here, right now. This is not a coincidence. It's not an algorithm. It is that quiet knowledge that lives deeper than logic and deeper than explanations. You are here because you are meant to be here, because this message was looking for you and it found you. Stay until the very last word, because what you hear today is what will change something inside you, not on the outside, on the inside, in that place where everything most important lives. Let's begin. Your soulmate wants you to know the first thing. I see you, I truly see you. Not the version of you that you show the world, not the smile you put on in the morning when you're not fully awake yet, but already have to be ready for others, for the day, for everything waiting outside. Not the strength you demonstrate when you're exhausted inside, not the confidence you piece together when there are unanswered questions within. I see the real you, the one who sometimes wakes up at 3 a.m. and lies in the dark with thoughts that won't go away, the one who smiles in public and is silent when alone, the one who gives so much to others and so rarely allows anyone to give to her, the one who is tired of pretending everything is fine when something inside has been quietly aching for a long time. I see this fatigue. I see this strength that hides vulnerability. I see everything you hide. And that is exactly what makes you so real, so alive, so much the one I think about constantly. You aren't perfect. You are better than perfect. You are real. And being real is the only thing that matters to me. The second thing your soulmate wants you to know, the time that passed between us was not empty. Did you think it was lost? Did you think those days, weeks, maybe months when there was distance between us, when words were few or non-existent, when you didn't know where we stood or what was happening, did you think that was a time of loss? No, it was a time of ripening. While there was silence between us, something important was happening. It was happening inside me. I was thinking. I was understanding. I was going through something internally that was necessary to go through before I could come to you with what I carry now. Have you ever seen a fruit ripen? From the outside, it seems like nothing is happening. Silence, stillness, the tree just stands there. But inside, a massive work is underway. Every day, without stopping. And at some point, the time comes and the fruit is ready. That time between us, that was my ripening, my internal work. And now I am ready. Ready to tell you what should have been said long ago. Ready to be by your side the way you deserve. The third message? I was wrong. I admit it fully, without excuses. There were moments when I could have been closer, and I chose distance. There were moments when you needed words, and I was silent. There were moments when I saw your pain and didn't know how to approach, so I chose not to approach at all. It was wrong. Not because I didn't feel, but because I felt, and I was afraid. I was afraid of how much you matter to me. I was afraid that if I came close, if I spoke, if I allowed myself to truly be near, everything would become even more real, even bigger, even less controllable. And instead of facing this fear head-on, I hid behind silence, behind distance, behind all that behavior that caused you pain and seemed like indifference to you. It was never indifference, it was fear, an awkward, imperfect, human fear of a man who didn't know how to be vulnerable well enough. Forgive me for that time. Forgive me for the silence that spoke of something other than what I felt, for the distance that didn't reflect how much space you occupied in my life, for all those moments when you expected something simple from me and didn't receive it. This message carries this admission. This is the first word that couldn't come out for too long. Forgive me. Fourth, and this is perhaps the most important of all, you were not too much. Do you hear me? You were not too much. Have you ever thought that about yourself? In those quiet moments when, alone with yourself, you allow yourself to think the things you don't say out loud, that you are too emotional, too deep, too demanding, that you want too much, feel too much, someone told you this, maybe with words, maybe with behavior, maybe by the way they distanced themselves when you opened up, by the way they let you know, not directly but very clearly, that what you carry inside is too much, more than can be accepted, more than someone is ready to hold. And you, perhaps, began to believe it. You began to make yourself smaller, quieter, more inconspicuous. You began to hold back the words that wanted to come out. You began to suppress the feelings that wanted to be expressed. You began to apologize, not with words, but with your whole behavior, for being so deep, so real, so alive. Don't do that anymore. Your depth is not a flaw, it is your rarest gift. Your emotionality is not a weakness, it is your superpower, which people who don't know how to feel call a weakness because they don't know what to do with something so alive. I know what to do with it. I know how to hold it. I am ready for how real you are, and that is why I am here. You were never too much for me. You were always exactly as much as needed. Fifth message. I missed you every moment you weren't around. Not in that superficial sense that people use easily and forget quickly, but in that deep, almost physical sense, where the absence of someone feels like the absence of something vital in the air, when the space a person occupied remains empty. And this emptiness has a shape, a specific shape, your shape. You entered my thoughts in the most unexpected moments. In the middle of a workday, something would remind me of you, and everything else would recede for a second. In the morning, the first thought was of you even before I was fully awake. In the evening, in the silence, when the day ended and there was nowhere left to hide from myself, you were there, as always. I replayed our conversations, the ones that were real, those moments when there was something alive between us, something that didn't need words but was louder than any words. I went back to them again and again, not because I was miserable, but because they were good, because it was good with you, because you did something to the space around you. You made it warmer, more alive, more real, and without you, that space was just space. I missed you every day, even when I was silent, especially when I was silent. The sixth message is a message about fear. About my fear, the one I never spoke out loud because naming it meant admitting how important you are. I was afraid of losing you. That sounds strange, doesn't it? How can you fear losing something that, it seems, wasn't fully yours yet? How can you grieve for what hasn't happened? How can you be so afraid of a separation that hasn't occurred yet? But that is exactly how fear works when something is truly important. It arrives ahead of time, long before any real threat. It says, look how much you could lose. Look how important this is. And that is why you must be careful. Protect yourself. Keep your distance. Don't let this become even more real, even bigger, because the more real it is, the more it hurts if you lose it. This fear controlled me longer than it should have. It made me retreat exactly when I should have approached. It made me go silent exactly when I should have spoken. It made me hide exactly when you were waiting for me to show up. But now I am here. Now I am speaking because I realized something important about fear. Fear of loss is not a signal to run away. It is a signal that there is something here worth staying for. Something so precious that even the thought of losing it is unbearable. And that something is you. Seventh message. I saw you in those moments when you thought no one was looking. I saw how you care for people who can give you nothing in return. How you give simply because it's you, simply because you don't know how to do it any other way. how you hold it together in difficult moments with that quiet, almost invisible strength that doesn't shout about itself, but holds everything together. I saw how you laugh for real when you think no one notices, and it's one of the most beautiful sounds I've ever heard. I saw your tenderness, the kind you show rarely, only to those you trust, the kind that exists beneath all that strength and self-sufficiency, warm, alive, real. I saw all of you, in the best moments and the difficult ones, in the moments when you were fully yourself, and in the moments when you tried to hide. I saw you, and each time I saw, I understood more clearly. It is her, the one I was looking for, the one I want to be with. The eighth message is about time, about what we do with it, about what I did and what I want to do differently. I spent time not on you, but on fear, on doubts, on an endless internal dialogue about whether it was right, whether the timing was good, whether I was ready, on weighing risks instead of just being near, on building defenses instead of building something real. And while I spent time on that, time went on. Days went by. Days. You continued living your life in which there was less of me. Not because you wanted that, but because I created that distance myself. I don't want to spend time on fear anymore. Life is too short for that. Too short for silence that shouldn't have been. Too short for the distance I created over something that wasn't worth these losses. I want to spend time on you, on conversations that go deep and don't end, on silence together that says more than words, on the small moments of an ordinary day that become important simply because you are there, on a real life, a full life, our life. Ninth message. This is a message about what I see in you, things you perhaps don't see in yourself, things that are sometimes harder to notice from the outside than from within. You are stronger than you think, much stronger. The pain you carried and continue to carry while finding the strength to move forward, that requires immense strength. Not that loud, demonstrative strength that is easy to notice, but that quiet, deep, unbending strength that just keeps going. Even when it's hard, even when you want to stop, even when no one sees that it takes effort. I see this strength, and it makes you one of the strongest people I know. You are kinder than you get credit for. You give so much and so rarely receive as much back, and you keep giving. Not because you are naive, not because you don't notice, but because there is something in you that doesn't stop believing in the good, that doesn't allow pain to make you hard, that preserves tenderness even after everything you've been through. That is a rarity. It is an immense rarity in a world that hardens so easily. You are worthy of the love you seek, not someday, not after you become even better, even stronger, an even more perfect version of yourself. Right now, exactly as you are, with your scars and your beauty, with your doubts and your confidence, with your difficult moments and your best ones. Right now, exactly you. 10th message, and it's about the future, about what I see, about what I want. I see us in ordinary moments, not in a movie version of a relationship with dramatic scenes and beautiful monologues, but in real moments. In the morning coffee when no one is fully awake yet, in a conversation in the car about something insignificant that somehow stays in your memory, in the silence of the evening when nothing needs to be said because just being near is enough. I see you on a difficult day, and I want to be the one beside you on that day. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Because your difficult days are just as important to me as the good ones. Because I want to know you in all your seasons. Not just when it's in bloom, but when it's a storm. I see us arguing because we are both alive, both have opinions, both sometimes disagree. And I see us after the argument, finding our way back to each other because what is between us is more important than any disagreement. I see growth, yours and mine. Growth that happens not despite being together, but because of it. When the presence of another person makes you better, not because they demand it, but because you want to be your best next to them. This is the future I see, the one I want, the one I am here for. The 11th message is a message about forgiveness. Not just my request for forgiveness, but my permission to you. Permission to forgive yourself for those moments when you weren't the person you wanted to be. For the words you said in pain and regret. For the choices that seemed right then and seem wrong now. For everything you carry inside like a guilt. Quiet, constant, exhausting. Let it go. You did the best you could with the understanding you had at the time. In every moment of your life, you did the best you could. Sometimes it was enough, sometimes not. But it was always real. It was always you trying. And trying is all that is required of us. Honestly, trying not to be perfect, never to make a mistake, but to try again and again, even after mistakes. You are trying, I see that. And that is enough. By forgiving yourself, you clear space. Space for something new, for something light, for something that doesn't carry the weight of the past, but carries only the present and the possibility of a future. 12th message. I choose you not because there is no choice, not because you are convenient, not because it's easy or safe, but because I choose you consciously, seeing you fully, and choosing you. This is a special kind of choice, the kind that doesn't happen on a wave of infatuation when everything seems easy and chemistry drowns out everything else, but the kind that happens after, when you know the person, truly know them, and still say, yes, specifically you, exactly like this, right now. I know your imperfections. I know your difficult sides. I know that being near you is sometimes not easy, just as being near me is sometimes not easy. I know that relationships between living people are work, real work, not a romantic fantasy. And I choose this work. I choose to do it by your side. I choose to build something real, slowly, honestly, without illusions, but with full presence. I choose you every day anew. 13th message. This is a message about what you gave me without even knowing it. You gave me a mirror. By your presence, even when you weren't near, even through distance and silence, you made me see myself more clearly, see where I avoid, where I hide, where I choose comfort over honesty, where I can be better. You didn't do it intentionally. You didn't criticize. You didn't pressure. You didn't demand change. Simply by your authenticity, by how real you are, how honest you are with yourself and others, you created a standard next to which my own inauthenticity became obvious, and that forced me to grow, slowly, awkwardly, sometimes painfully, but to grow. You made me better just by being yourself. This is one of the rarest gifts one person can give another. Thank you for that. 14th message about what is important right now, at this second, not in some abstract future. Right now. Right now, you are okay. Even if it seems like you're not. Even if there is something heavy inside, something uncertain, something that hasn't found its place yet. You are okay. You are managing. You are continuing. Right now, you are not alone. Even if physically no one is near, even if it feels like no one sees or understands, you are not alone. This message found you because you are not alone in your feelings, in your questions, in your pain, and in your hope. Right now, something good is moving toward you. Not because these are pretty words, but because life works exactly that way. Periods of silence are followed by periods of words, periods of distance by periods of closeness, periods of questions by periods of answers. Your time for answers is approaching. 15th message, and it's about what I ask of you. Not much, just one thing. Stay yourself. Don't make yourself smaller. Don't make yourself more convenient. Don't tailor your depth to someone else's surface. Don't apologize for how much you feel and how real you are. Stay yourself and let the right person find specifically you. The inconvenient version, the unshrunken version, the full, real you. Because the right person, he is looking specifically for you, not someone else. Specifically you with your depth, with your strength, with your tenderness, with your scars and your light. Specifically you. And if you hide yourself just to seem more convenient, he might pass by simply because he doesn't recognize you under all those layers of adaptation. Allow yourself to be visible. It's scary, I know. To be truly visible, without protection, it is one of the scariest things that exist. Because when you are seen, they can see everything and accept it or not. But not being visible is its own pain. The pain of being loved, but not for being you. Loving an image you created, loving a convenient version, while the real you is still alone, hidden, invisible. Allow yourself to be visible to me and to yourself. 16th message is about details, about the small, insignificant things that actually mean the most. I remember how you laugh. Not the laugh for others, but the real one that bursts out when something is truly funny and you don't have time to control it. That laugh is one of the most alive sounds I know. I remember how you think. How the pause before an answer, a second, maybe two, says that you are truly considering. That words for you are not just sounds, but something that has weight. That is a rarity in a world where everyone speaks quickly and superficially. I remember your hands, how you hold a cup, how you gesture when you speak about something important. Small, concrete, living details that the brain keeps only for those who are important. I remember you, not a general idea of you, specifically you, alive, real. And it was these memories that brought me back to you again and again, even when there was distance between us. 17th message about honesty. About wanting to be honest with you, truly honest, inconveniently honest. I am not perfect. I will make mistakes. I will sometimes be silent when I should speak. I will sometimes retreat into myself when I should stay close. I will sometimes choose wrongly. But I will always be honest, because honesty is the only foundation on which you can build something real. Everything else crumbles. Pretty words crumble. Promises made just to soothe crumble. Everything crumbles except honesty. I will be honest with you even when it's inconvenient, even when the truth requires courage, even when it would be easier to stay silent or say what you want to hear. You deserve the real thing. And the real thing is honesty. 18th message about what is between us. About that thread that exists and that I feel constantly, even through distance, even through silence, even through everything that stood or stands between us. This thread, it isn't my fantasy. It isn't something I made up. You feel it too. I know it. I know it by the fact that you are here. Because something brought you here, to these words, at this second. This thread is what prevents either of us from fully leaving, what brings thoughts back again and again, what makes some encounters, seemingly accidental, feel non-accidental, what makes your heart react to something connected to me before your mind has time to explain why it's real. This is between us, and this something doesn't go away just because we don't know what to do with it. 19th message. This is a message of patience, not your patience with me, but my promise to you. I will be patient with you, with your rhythm, with your fears, with those walls you built over years to protect something important inside, which won't crumble in one day, and shouldn't. I won't pressure you. I won't rush you. I won't demand openness before you are ready. I won't interpret your caution as rejection. I will be here, patiently, consistently, because everything real takes time. Everything worthwhile is built slowly. And what we can build is worth any time it takes. You can move at your own pace. I am walking beside you, not behind, not ahead, but beside you, at your pace. And the last, 20th message, the simplest and most important, I love you. Not that infatuated, light, head-spinning feeling of the first months, though that was there too and that was also real, but that deep, calm, steady feeling that knows you, has seen you at different times, in different states, in your best and your hardest moments, and chooses you. This feeling doesn't depend on whether everything is perfect between us. It doesn't depend on whether we have all the answers. It doesn't depend on whether all difficulties have vanished. It just is, quiet, real, steady, and it's not going anywhere. This message found you today because you needed to hear it, because something inside you needed these exact words right now, because sometimes we need to hear what we already know, But what is so hard to say to ourselves? You are important, you are seen, you are loved. Not someday, now. If these words touched you, if something inside resonated, if you felt something you've wanted to feel for a long time, don't leave in silence. Write one word in the comments, the one that resonates most. One word that describes what you feel right now. Because this space is for you, for your words, for your story. Share this video with someone who also needs to hear this message, with a friend who is tired of waiting, with the one who doubts her worth, with the one who needs a reminder that she matters. Subscribe, because every conversation here is a message for you, about the people you love, and about how love truly works, without embellishment, without illusions, but with full honesty. Click the bell so you don't miss the next message, because it will also be looking for you and will find you. Until next time, quietly, honestly, with love. M.